what led you to seek out a career in medicine?
Well, I always wanted to be a doctor. My mom says I was 2, but I remember being 4. So we'll just go with what my mom said. But
Yeah.
I never wanted to be anything else. So I'm a board certified OBGYN. I graduated medical school in 2005. It's been pretty good journey.
What would you say is the most rewarding part of your job, Dr. Fair?
Oh, wow. So many great parts.
I'm sure.
But it's just really, helping a patient get healthy, whether, it's from her fibroids or abnormal uterine bleeding or even delivering the baby they've been waiting to see for 9 months.
Yeah.
It's just, the smiles on people's faces.
Absolutely.
When they know they've gotten great results.
You have a background in military healthcare, notably at the Blanchfield Army Community Hospital. So, which came first for you, military or medicine?
So I got into medical school, and my dad encouraged me to look at the Army as a way to pay for school. So in 2002, I commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Army Reserves. And while I was going to school, they helped me pay for school. And then after residency, I went on to active duty as an active duty doctor.
That's amazing. Incredible. So your father and grandfather, having both served in the military, I wonder, were either of them involved in healthcare directly or indirectly? I mean, you obviously followed in their footsteps, but were they able to see the great success that you've become today? Could they appreciate that?
If they were able to, I'm sure they are from heaven.
Yeah.
They weren't involved in medicine directly. My grandfather was a musician. My father was in business, direct sales. But, they always encouraged me to be whatever I wanted to be. I'm actually the first doctor that I know of in my immediate circle family.
Right. Just out of curiosity, what kind of music did your grandfather play?
Jazz. So he was a piano player.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a huge, big jazz fan. I love jazz. Was he like a session player, or was he the main attraction, or what?
He was a session player. He had a band. And it was I would say it was more of a hobby, because he was really in a business. He had his own shoe shining business.
Oh, that's great.
In the trade center.
Yeah.
When we had in the good old days when we had the trade center.
Yeah.
And so he, it was pretty big business because of all the executives that would come through there.
So he was an entrepreneur and a musician.
Yes.
That's really cool. You've been known to educate your patients on the importance of health and nutrition.
Yes. Really good nutrition is preventative medicine. And food is medicine. And so it's either you're fueling your body with the good stuff, or you're feeding a disease. And so a lot of things are can be tied to how our health is. A lot of diseases, a lot of things are linked to obesity. So diabetes, high blood pressure,
right.
High cholesterol. So those are kind of linked. And even GYN problems are linked. Some GYN problems are linked to obesity, heavy bleeding or fibroids, even uterine cancer. So I talked to them about preventing some of these things by eating a healthy diet, and exercising can help prevent some of these things, or at least if you do have it, eating right can help reverse it. The weight loss can help reverse the chronic disease.
Now, you're known to be a very spiritual person, which is an interesting and kind of uncommon quality for a medical doctor. So how does your spirituality inform your medical practice, your day-to-day operations and so forth? How do your patients respond to it?
So I talk about God a lot. So my patients really don't mind. Because a lot of them ask me questions. They so do you know, they may ask me, when do I think they're going into labor? And I tell them, my name is not God. My name is Dr. Fair. So I do not know. Only God knows that question. So they don't mind. And because it comes out in my everyday language, so they kind of know that I'm a spiritual person. Because it just kind of comes out of my everyday language.
Okay. That's so interesting. I would love it if any of my doctors were spiritual in that way, but it's like I said, it's such a rare thing. You don't really ever see that too much, but that's fantastic. I love that. I think that's so interesting. You obviously have one of the most stressful jobs that a human being can have. Is the work, the life-work balance difficult for you? What sort of interests do you have outside of medicine? How do you handle the stress?
Yeah, sometimes it can be, because you just never know what's gonna happen day to day. There's like shifts, there's swings in labor and delivery and OB in general. Unless you're just in the office all day, every day, you know what's coming in. But when you're actually working, delivering babies, it's hard to figure. You can't schedule it.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't schedule it.
Try as you might.
You try to schedule things as much as we possibly can, but there's obviously going to be like emergencies come in or whatever, patients just come in labor. So it can be difficult, when you're on call, to schedule things with your family, or, if you have maybe you have something on the side that you're doing, it can be hard to schedule it, because you never know what's going to come in.
Yeah, of course.
So that could be difficult. When I was in private practice, this is what I would do. If I was off on the weekend, I didn't really care what was happening on my day. I'm off this weekend. I'm not looking at my schedule, or anything like that. I'm just, kind of just relaxing and doing some things for me. So things I like to do, I do like to travel. So when I'm on vacation, I like to go to different places. I like to work out. That's a big stress reliever for me. I'm a health coach as well as a doctor. So I like working out because it really helps me to decompress from the day-to-day things. And it helps me to focus on what I'm doing. Also, I know I'm working my muscles. My bones are getting strengthened. I know I'm getting those endorphins. So the benefits of exercise with the endorphins and brain health and cardiovascular health, for me, is super important. And plus, I just like movement and different types of movement, and just, knowing what I could do. So there's, you never know what you can do until you do it.
Yeah, I think that just based on the fact that you are a spiritual person, that you care so much about your patients' nutrition, when you really don't have to. That's not a requirement, but you get involved on those spiritual and nutritional levels. And then even in just regular conversation like this, you strike me as a very compassionate person. What do you think is the key to your success in the healthcare industry?
I think for me, it's just being humble. I'm not any better than them. I just went to school. I went to school to take care of people. I went to school to help people. So just having that humility and being compassionate, understanding where people are in their health, and being able to help steer them in the right direction. That's really helped me.
Okay, very well said. What advice do you have for the younger generation currently considering a career in medicine?
I definitely would say, have a balance, because it's hard. Medical school is very difficult, especially now. Residency is even more difficult because of the amount of hours that you're spending in the hospital. So it's so important to have a delicate balance, like to take care of yourself. Have that self-care, even with the nutrition and eating right, drinking water, doing your exercise, and doing your personal development, because you're gonna deal with people and all the different attitudes and all the different personalities. And so I wish I would have done this when I was going through residency, making sure I was taking better care of myself. Mental health is super important. Physical health is super important, because you get drained, you get burned out.
Right. Sure.
It gets mundane sometimes, when you're on different rotations and you're working, over 80 hours a week.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself, professionally speaking, in 5, even 10 years from now?
Professionally, my ultimate goal, it would be to have medical office space, sort of like the medical complex, where I have different primary care specialties in the office, along with social work and financial services, in different areas, like the inner city area, where patients can go and see a doctor that, that really cares about them. They can go have these different services that they normally wouldn't have, or that would, may take them a while to get to, but it'd be right there in their neighborhood.